What's up everybody, let's make some good ass homemade mac and cheese with broccoli. Most of what you need you probably already have. Salted butter, white pepper or black pepper, smoked paprika, any package of 16-ounce pasta. I'm using these Spiral Lovely things. Milk, saltine crackers or any kind of crackers, and pretty much any kind of cheese. All-purpose flour. And here's what you're going to need to actually bake it. A casserole dish or a baker pan. This is what we're going to be baking it in. Obviously. A mixing spoon. A saucepan. A boiling pot for your pasta. And a whisk. Whisk. Alright, so start your burner on a medium-high. Now let's get some water in our boiling pot. Completely optional here, but if you want to add some salt to the water, just kind of add some flavor to the pasta. Not too much, just a sprinkle. Bring it to boil. This pasta says al dente is 10 to 12 minutes. I'm going to cook it for 9, 1 minute less. Dump your pasta in. Al dente, of course, being slightly undercooked. Let's start that second burner and start heating up your saucepan. While that's heating up, let's chop this butter into cubes. It's easier said than done, though. Alright, let's start melting that butter. Now we're going to add 1/2 a cup of flour. Just slowly whisk it in. It'll eventually become kind of creamy. Just like this. Now we're going to add 2 cups of milk, but we're only going to do it 1 cup at a time. So pour about 1/2 of your 2 cups of milk in. And again, keep whisking it. Once that's all mixed in, go ahead and add your second cup of milk. Now we're going to add 2 cups of cheese, and again you can add any kind of cheese you want. I'm just using a basic shredded cheddar jack. And similar to the milk, we're not just going to dump it all in at once, we're going to take about 1/2 of it out. Whisk that in until it all melts the cheese. As you're doing this, you'll see it start to get kind of stretchy, almost like a taffy. At this point, let's start preheating the oven. If you have a convection oven, set it for 325. If it's a regular oven, go 350. Now, if you're adding broccoli to this, you're going to want to start boiling your broccoli water. And at this point, the pasta's probably done. Strain and cool. You can do this with a colander or by actually just straining it. I'm spraying cold water on it in this part, but only enough to prevent it from sticking. I'm also adding a little bit of olive oil to also keep it from sticking together. Now when chopping the broccoli, it's totally up to you how big of pieces you want. I'm just going to chop mine all up into tiny little pieces. We're going to do what's called a flash boil on this broccoli, which means we're only going to cook it for about 90 seconds. While that's cooking, let's add 1 teaspoon of white pepper to our cheese sauce, as well as 1 teaspoon of paprika. Whisk those together. Now let's go back to those 2 cups of cheese we had, where we only used 1. Dump the remainder of the cheese in. We're going to melt and stir this in as well. If you notice your cheese sauce getting a little bit too thick, you can add just a splash of milk to help loosen it up. final result should look like this. Now we're going to add all of the pasta to the casserole dish. Followed by dumping the entire pot of cheese sauce onto the casserole. Finally, your 90 seconds should be up for your broccoli. Go ahead and strain it and add this as well to the casserole dish, and then mix them all together. Now we're going to add a generous amount of cheese as a top layer to this entire casserole. So really just spread it out over the entire surface. And finally, the crackers we had, we're just going to smash these up and pour them over the top. Sprinkle them on almost like a seasoning. You can also use breadcrumbs in place of crackers at this point. Now simply place the casserole into the oven and set your timer for 25 minutes. And that's really all there is to it. Once your 25 minutes is up, be prepared for some good-ass macaroni and cheese. If you're following along with this recipe at home, I hope your macaroni and cheese turns out awesome. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this as well. And I hope you liked this video. If so, please like and subscribe. Thanks and take care.